Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and thank you so much for tuning in. It's the year 2026, so there's some albums that are celebrating a 40th anniversary. I decided to go through my collection really quickly and pick out some of the albums that came out in 86 that popped out to me at this time. I'm sure I have more in my collection, but these are the ones that stood out right now. So as of for this week, I'm going to pick up, and there's in no particular order, it's just the albums that I grabbed out of my collection right away. So first one is Parade from Prince. Different sound, a little bit more jazzy, not as impactful as, I guess, in terms of hit singles as Purple Rain was, but no less an enjoyable listen. I enjoyed Girls and Boys, Mountains, Do You Lie, Kiss, Another Lover, Hole in Your Head, and Sometimes It Snows in April. Very different album, very interesting, a little bit more complex than we anticipated, I think, from Prince, but that was always the secret to him. You never knew what you're going to get. Every album is like meeting a new friend, and this is one of those nice friends that I truly enjoyed. Of course, the hit single Kiss is in my mind one of the greatest singles he's ever released and one of the best singles I've ever heard in my lifetime. Do yourself a favor, give this a listen. Next up, Peter Gabriel. So, what can you say about this album? But this is like, for me, this is a masterpiece. It does sound, the only thing, it does sound 80s. There's an 80s sound to it. But I mean, Red Rain, Sledgehammer, Don't Give Up, Big Time, In Your Eyes. I mean, phenomenal album, impeccably done, in my opinion, anyways. Regardless of it sounding a little bit 80s, that's the only quibble I have. This is one of those albums you need to have in your collection. If you like Peter Gabriel, you need to have this. If you don't, go get this now. Next up is Billy Joel's The Bridge. A lot of people did not like this at the time. I enjoyed it. It is different. Doesn't sound like an Innocent Man by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe not as good or as, I guess, consistent, maybe, but there are some standout tracks. I enjoyed This Is the Time, A Matter of Trust, Modern Woman, Baby Grand with Ray Charles is an outstanding track. If you've never heard this song, search it out. Code of Silence is pretty good too. Enjoyable album, different, a little different. Billy Joel was going through stuff at this point, so it's not going to sound like your standard Billy Joel, but that's what I like about it. It is a little different. Next up, 86 was the year of the big, of the battle of the bands, so to speak. Van Halen had broke up, or David Lee Roth left or got fired, no matter what you believe. And David Roth comes roaring back with Ted Templeman behind the boards, with Steve Vai on guitar, releasing Eat 'Em and Smile. Sounds like an old Van Halen album. Raw, dirty, nothing like 1984. This sounds like the first 3, 4 Van Halen albums. Yankee Rose, need I say more? Shy Boy was great. I'm Easy, Ladies Night in Buffalo, Going Crazy, Tobacco Road. That's Life. Looking for a good album from David Lee Roth. His first full-fledged solo album is untouchable in my opinion. If I'm going to talk about David Lee Roth, I'm going to talk about 5150 coming out the same year, 1986. Sammy Hagar's on board. Either you're on board with it or you're not. I know I wasn't on board at first. I did not listen to this album for months after I bought it. I was so brokenhearted that David Lee Roth was not on board anymore. I couldn't accept the fact that he wasn't in Van Halen. Like a lot of people back in the day, the lead singer was everything, right? Put it on afterwards, and Why Can't This Be Love? Dreams, Summer Nights, Best of Both Worlds may be one of the best tracks, from the Sammy Hagar era ever. Love Walks In, different sounding beast. This is, I guess, if Foreigner and Journey had a baby, it would be 5150. You're going to go up with a couple of divisive albums. Ozzy Osbourne, The Ultimate Sin. This is his most, I'm going to say, radio-friendly record, but I love this album. It's catchy as all heck. Ron Nevison behind the boards. Love him or hate him for what he's done to Ozzy and Kiss for some of their albums. I enjoyed this album. I think The Ultimate Sin is fantastic. Shot in the Dark. Fool Like You. I still think the songs are still pretty good on here. It's not as heavy as we expect from Ozzy, but it was 86. That was the time. Either you get on board or get the hell out of the way. And Ozzy was no way going to get out of the way. So still enjoyable. Not as hard rocking as we expect. Jakey Lee, great guitarist on here. Do yourself a favor, give this a listen. It is catchy as all heck. Next up, another album that divided the fan base. Judas Priest Turbo. Synth heavy as all heck. But man, I love this. It's catchy. It's just fun. And that's what, yes, it moves away from, I guess, the fantasy aspect from Judas Priest and leads more into domestic issues. And as close as you're going to get to domestic issues with a Judas Priest album. I mean, Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Rock You All Around the World, Out in the Cold. Great, great ballad on that. Even, I mean, the remaster is sensational. If you've never heard this album, I know it's synth heavy. I know it's not regular Judas Priest, but it's a fun album nonetheless. Next up, last but not least, Somewhere in Time from Iron Maiden. There's some synth sounds, synth guitars on here. Very different sounding. There's no other album that sounds like this from them. But I love this album. Wasted Years is one of my all-time favorite Iron Maiden tracks. Heaven Can Wait. Stranger in a Strange Land. Alexander the Great. It's Iron Maiden, man. I don't care that it sounds a little bit more poppier. It's Iron Maiden. The songs were catchy. They stayed in your head long after you turned this thing off. Kudos to these guys. They took a chance, but it worked phenomenally, in my opinion. And those are my selections for albums celebrating 40th anniversary this year. These are some of my favorites, some of my go-tos. And yes, some of them are divisive. I get that. But you know what? Sometimes sounding a little different just makes the catalog a lot more exciting. I like when a band tries to expand their palette and take a little left turn every once in a while. But that's me. You let me know, do you have these albums? Do you like these albums? Maybe you don't. Love to hear from you. And if you can, hit that like button. Subscribe. It would mean the world to me. This is Steven from the Aroundtable with some of my selections of my favorite albums celebrating a 40th anniversary this year in 2026. I'll be seeing you soon, guys.